So here's the view in the morning looking out from camp out onto Lake Superior, Jarvis Bay. Not bad, eh? Hey folks, so it's Saturday morning. We had a nice little thunderstorm overnight, pretty hard rain at times. But it's kind of nice now, mostly sunny. Pop this guy off here. Boil up some water. Make myself a cup of coffee. I could not find my coffee press at home and getting my gear ready, so instant it is for today. But that'll do. We are roughing it. Now while that water was boiling up, I also got out some of the dehydrated foods here, some hash browns, there's some lean ground beef, a bunch of mushrooms, and a bunch of bell peppers all dehydrated. I'm going to load that up with some water, put a lid on it, let these start rehydrating for a little while I have my first coffee or so, and then we're going to fry them up for breakfast. I don't want too much water in there, just covering them and just a bit. That's all we really want. Give that a little stir, and then we'll cover it up. And I'll be right back in 1 second. I gotta grab something. So here's the hash browns, peppers, mushrooms, and ground beef. Pretty much all hydrated back up and ready for the fry pan. That up there, a little heat to her, olive oil, and it's time to add the breakfast. Dehydrated hash browns, bell peppers, mushrooms, and ground beef. So that's on the menu for today. I'll level this off a little bit better here. First started doing this stuff back in 2004, getting ready for a 6 months long solo canoe trip. Did a lot of dehydrating that spring, my God. I'm going to scoop her out. There will be no leftovers. Back. I'd like to have had some eggs with this, but I had a half dozen eggs packed up in one of those plastic egg containers. You know, in the bike ready to go. I noticed they were just rattling like crazy. I knew that was going to drive me crazy. So for my next trip, I either have to dehydrate some eggs at home or buy some pre-dehydrated eggs and bring those with me. So we'll try that next time. This is good. This is really good. So after breakfast, went for a short walk along the trail leading down here, the rougher section, just to check it out again. So right here we're about 400 meters from Jarvis Bay. You can see this rocky section down below here. That's one of the fun parts of the ride. Heavily loaded touring bike and all. Looking back up the hill further, and we'll continue on up. This is just 40 or 50 meters in off the main gravel road, and you can see how it went from nice gravel into this stuff. And with the road touring bike, kind of a gravel bike setup, fully loaded, first time doing bike tour in a while, bike packing. I decided to play it safe and walk down this first section here. I rode down part of it, but pretty bumpy. I'm going to record a little bit of this tomorrow as I'm bringing the bike back up here. Be riding sections and then I'll be walking sections, no doubt. A number of years back, I think I would have been able to ride the whole thing even with a heavy load on, but it's been a while and I got to build that back up, and that is going to happen. Shutting her down for now. Hey folks, just walking along the beach here on the bay that I'm camped out in down in Jarvis Bay. Earlier today, while out gathering firewood, I glance off to my right and I see this. Let's go take a look. Somebody did some shelter building in here. This is only about, I'd say about 100 meters, maybe less, from where I'm camped out. We'll come up here, take a little look. A little fire pit down in the ground. A little bench for sitting down, relaxing. Another bench. And here's the shelter. I'll walk you around part of it. Bear with me here. I may edit some of this out. So, cut log construction, all tarped over. Lots and lots of holes in the tarps. We had thunderstorms this morning, and when I stumbled on this while gathering firewood, well after the rain stopped, parts of the ground were soaked. You can still see some dark spots where it's still wet. Let's go over to the other side. I don't know how that's going to show up in the lighting. Lighting looks fairly bad for this angle. Again, lots of holes in the tarp. The back end doesn't look too bad for holes. Mainly the top, which isn't surprising, and a couple of the sides. There's the view looking out. Let's get right in the front of this thing. And there's the view you'd have looking out. Now I do have a feeling that this shelter section of the video will probably generate a few comments. I know a lot of people don't like these things. But, oh well, it's kind of cool. Hey folks, Joe here. So it's Saturday afternoon, September 11th, and I'm going to start getting ready for my supper. Tonight we're having pasta, a bit of macaroni with dehydrated pasta sauce. Take some of this out here, break it up, put it into this container. Everything in this bag is from one large jar of pasta sauce I dehydrated about a week ago. Knew I had this trip coming up. I've got a bag of dehydrated peppers and mushrooms right here. Going to add a little assortment of that. Just build up the pasta a little bit. And we got two more ingredients to put in here. I got some dehydrated onions. These add a nice little flavor. That should be good for the onions. Don't need too many. So this bike packing trip, it's nice to try and keep the weight down a little bit. One more ingredient. Here it is. Dehydrated extra lean ground beef. Did this up specially for this trip a while back, not too long ago. So we're going to turn this into a meat sauce. Now what I'm going to do next is I got a bit of water in this pot here. I'm going to light up the, I don't know if you can still see me if I'm standing up. I'm going to light up my Brunton stove, bring this water to a boil, pour in just enough to cover this over with a little bit of water on top, not too much though. And then we're going to put a lid on it. This guy right here, wrap it up. There's a bit of a warmer to insulate it a little bit. And I'm going to let that hydrate for a while, and then I'm going to start my pasta. Just tilt that down a bit. Just going to put in enough water to just cover it over. That should be more than enough. Take my spoon, just stir it around a little bit, get it started. And then we're going to cover it over. And I'm going to let that start rehydrating while I get a few other things done around camp. Just to keep it nice and warm, we're going to wrap it up. Hold that heat in there a little bit more. Let her dehydrate. Hey folks, so I got the stove back on. I'm heating up a pot of water to cook up my pasta. I just checked on the pasta sauce. It's pretty much ready to go. I'll give you a little look at that. Nice and thick, nice and chunky. Taste test, delicious. I'm going to cover this over, just keep it warm. Still pretty nice and warm for now. Once the pasta is cooked, I'll drain the pasta, dump the sauce in, mix it up, and just hold that over the heat a little bit just to bring that sauce back up to the right temperature. And then we're good to go. Sorry if I kept glancing over this way. I thought I heard an engine of some sort, maybe a four-wheeler coming or something. I had two of them pass by earlier today, both nice people. Anyways, I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, well, the water came to a boil. I've got the pasta on. You can probably hear that stove's blazing away. And I'd say about 10 minutes, it'll be ready to drain and add the sauce. Now, what I should have done, and I planned to do, but just ran out of time while getting ready for this trip, I should have cooked the pasta at home and then dehydrated it on the dehydrator. If I had done that, then when mixing up the pasta sauce to rehydrate, add the dehydrated pasta right in with it. Same process, cover with hot water, cover it over, let it sit for a while, done. Save a lot on fuel, and it's a little faster as well. So next time I'm going to try and get that done. Just ran out of time. I wanted to get on this trip a couple days before I did. It just kept getting put off a day. So finally, I'm out of here. Got to get this going. Anyways, I'll be back when this is done and you can see the end product. Okay, folks. Pasta has been drained. Sit down here. Add my sauce. This is looking really good. I'm going to scoop that all right in. Mix in a little bit of our spicy seasoning. Why not? And I got this piece of cheddar cheese. Just gonna chop off a few little pieces here. It's been sitting in the sun, it's pretty soft, still fine. Probably finish this cheese up later tonight with a glass of wine. That is my plan. Right now, stir this up a little bit. The sauce has been sitting a little bit, still nice and warm, but I just want to give her a touch of heat on the stove as I stir it. I got the stove set to real low. I think I did up a bigger batch here than I thought I was going to. Some of this might be leftovers for the ride back to home tomorrow. Turn that off. And supper is ready. I am starving. Had a busy day. This sauce came out really, really good this time. When I get home, a couple days after this trip, I'll be putting on another batch or two of pasta sauce. Start getting ready for the next trip. And I also want to cook up the pasta and dehydrate that as well, like I was mentioning earlier. So anyways, I'm going to cut off the camera for now. Enjoy my pasta. Finish off this water. Feeling a little bit dehydrated still from the ride yesterday. Didn't drink enough water on the way out. That's on me. After that, seeing as I do woodworking, first beer for tonight, Woodhouse Lager beer. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Just going to set that down the shade until I'm ready for it. This sauce came out really, really good this time. I'm really happy with how it came out. Hey folks, so it's 20 after 5, Saturday, September 11th. Just finished my supper of the pasta with the dehydrated pasta sauce. Came out great. This container is almost full with leftovers. I'm going to save that for tomorrow for the ride home. Get hungry along the way. I'm going to have good breakfast here first. But get hungry, start running out of energy. I'm just going to have a cold snack. Pull over the side of the road, load up on pasta, drink some fluids, and continue on. It's about a 50-kilometer ride. What I got here now is the last of my cheese. Still got quite a few crackers. I'll eat some of those tonight as snacks, not all of them. And for the bag of mixed nuts, we got about half a can. I'm going to have some of those. I love the cashews in there especially. Still got some wine, that's more than half full. Here's that first beer I'm going to have. I got another one set aside if I choose to have another after. Flashlight and lantern. That doesn't really look all that impressive while it's still light out. Maybe I'll show you that later if I think of it. Get my reading glasses. Get my cell phone. I didn't think I'd get a cell phone signal out here at all, but I do. If I just slip into the woods here 20 feet, no signal. Out here, seems to get a pretty okay signal at times. And I got my book. It's kind of a big book for bringing on a trip like this, but I just started reading it recently, and it's really good. It's a sci-fi series. There's 9 books in total. It's called The Expanse. It's also on Amazon Prime. But I say never judge a book by its movie. Although the movie series actually is pretty good. But I started reading this a while back. It's about colonizing the solar system, Mars, the asteroid belt, the outer planets, etc. All kinds of drama, and it's kind of good if you like that kind of stuff. Got a little bit of water here I want to finish off. Get the bug dope if I need it. So far, I have not seen a mosquito on this trip. There were a few black flies this afternoon when it was at the hottest, but that's it. Got my bear banger here just in case. Got my bear spray just out of sight over here. I'll bring that over after. That's just the case for the hard case for my reading glasses. Down here, out of view, I think, is my food bag. I'll put that away shortly. A couple bottles of water to load onto the bike in the morning. And I'll also load this up, top it off with water before I pack up and get out of here. What I'm going to do now is turn around, face the water. I figured I'd do this part with the camera facing the water so you can see Lake Superior as well. And now I'm just going to crack a beer, turn around, do a little bit of reading, and just enjoy myself. Probably within an hour or so, I'll put the bottom leggings onto my shorts here, these convertible pants. As the sun goes down, I'll put those on, and behind me here, that's where I had last night's fire. I got some wood gathered up, and I'm going to have another fire in a little bit, and I'll probably show you some of that too. Hey folks, so as you can see, we got the campfire going. It's 7 p.m. having a beer. I decided to have a couple glasses of wine first, which went down real smooth, and now just relaxing, probably packing up after breakfast tomorrow, break camp, and head back to town. Been a good couple days. Tomorrow will be day 3, and I think we're going to wrap it up in 3 days for this one. Get back home, do some work, get some things done, start planning out the next trip for hopefully within 2 weeks. Either another bike trip, maybe out here, or multi-day in the canoe out here on the big lake, or possibly one of the sea kayaks. Earlier today, I scouted out up alongside the river down this way and up, the place I have in mind for setting up a camp. Arrived too late yesterday to get that done, and didn't really feel like breaking camp today, so instead just went and scouted it all out, and got it mapped out to where I want to be. And next time I come here, I'll be doing some work on that. It's accessible by touring bike, gravel bike, bike packing, also accessible by canoe or kayak. I got a place picked out as a launch and put in takeout up the river. There's not a lot of good spots up there, but I have one. And anyways, that's about it. Got the fire going. I'm going to sit here, stare into the fire, and look out at the lake. Normally I'd be sitting between the fire and where the camera is right now, but I want to have the lake in the background. Cheers. Oh, and for tomorrow, I'll be getting some footage of the ride out of here. The first few kilometers are definitely the most interesting and most challenging. Some really rough roads, some good hills up and down, and then eventually making it back to the main road that'll take me into town. There's at least one good climb on that. So yeah, looking forward to the challenge. More updates coming later in the video after tomorrow's stuff. And there's just a view of tonight's campfire. We'll raise that up a bit. I'm just relaxing, having a glass of wine, had a beer, and just enjoying the weather. It is 8 p.m. Saturday night, and been a good day. Yeah, talk to you soon.